Hey guys, this is Rainwolf Convention Video. I'm back with the 86. I almost said Yashihime because me and Biff were talking about it earlier.
Oops.
Hey guys, Kyrdo Silverheart here.
And Asana Silverheart.
And this is Lyria.
And table flip, and table flip, and table flip.
Mm-hmm.
All the tables.
Uh-huh.
All the tables.
Where's my warehouse of tables I can flip?
We need one.
So we are starting this off pretty much there, right where the last episode kind of led to. Karen is in her unit. She is getting out. Hers is trashed. And by the looks of it, everybody else is trashed as well.
Yeah, you can hear him on the comms actually say, "Mine's not working. This is broken. That's broken. Everything. The world's falling apart."
And then we see Fido go down.
Oh,
Poor
Fido,
Fido.
no.
I swear, like, that is the most self-sacrificing, loyal thing ever.
It was so sad.
Let's just call him a dog. He's a dog.
robot dog man.
I missed last week because I was sick and I had to catch up, and then I saw him and I was like, "Why? Why'd this happen?"
The innocent always die in anime.
They do. He was so pure.
Goodbye, Fido. We'll miss you.
After the whole huge fight, Shin is right there in front of Fido. He sits there. And you see the chest that normally he has with everyone's names in it, and he leaves it with Fido.
That was
Yeah,
sad.
that almost broke me right there. Especially considering what we saw happen to Fido at the end of last episode.
Yeah, and we get what happened to him, but also all the perspectives we got to see from his angle. It just tore. Giving us feelings to a robot. So now they're going through everything, seeing what supplies. They're pretty much condensing everything because now they don't have Fido to carry everything. Any of the canisters, they're pretty much out of ammo.
They don't have
They're
the
short on
entire
supplies.
army of transport mechs that they did. They are down to one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're running out of everything.
Then they're setting up. It's like, hopefully we don't run into any more Legion. And Andrew's like, who's going to pilot? You just can't be Shin all the time. Don't take shifts. That's fine. But the thing is, Laughing Fox brings up, it's like, but didn't it have to be Undertaker's unit?
I kind of thought something was going on with Shin's rig. I honestly did. Like,
With
from
the
the
way he
get-go, I'm like,
moves.
this guy wing zeros his entire
Oh my
juggernaut.
It's like
That
they're
does sound
so
accurate,
tight.
though.
It's like they have no room for error. So they just dump the rest of their boxes that they have over the cliff. They're empty. And Andrew just throws a box and it just flutters to the ground.
Yeah, she seemed like she enjoyed tossing that box, which anybody who enjoys organization or cleaning, you're just like, chuck the box. Yes, I'm finished. We're done.
Hi, Felicia.
Yeet.
Well,
But-
they had to really condense because they only have this one container to use. And with them only having one unit, how else are they going to travel?
It's true, and I mean they don't. It's very grim, like the whole feel of it. Even though it's kind of they have like a odd lightheartedness about it.
Mhm.
It's still very much like you're watching them walk to their death. Like
Yeah.
this is what this
Mhm.
feels like, and it's like, but they're going. It's interesting. It's hard to watch, but it's interesting.
And they're going, as they're going, then then he sees the little hole in the cave. Go down there. The next moment you see it's pouring down rain. And her finger's on the trigger, but we have Legion crossing paths. And they were close.
They were right
A little
there.
too. But you notice, it's like her finger was itching. But that was because of nerves.
Oh, Karina's ready. Karina is straight up ready to just pull that trigger if she has to.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, you can definitely tell she has a massive amount of anxiety going on. Her hand is shaking.
Well, she's the one in the unit. They only have one unit.
Yeah.
And you got a whole platoon
Yeah.
of Legion walking past you. And they're in a hole, for crying out loud. One of those lows could just fire around in there and they're done.
Mm-hmm.
So they also Raiden also brings up the moment. It's like we're getting close. It's like everybody's eyes up front. Then they run into this old city as they're going through a horse. They should have took the horse.
I don't think they noticed the horse because the horse kind of ran as they were walking by. So
True.
The horse
This is
wasn't.
true.
Yeah, I don't think they really had the option of horse. Horse was not having it. Horse is very wild at this point. This city hasn't been in use for a hot minute, so
Yeah.
I'm
Then they
actually
were-
surprised that horse was like still alive and not skeleton like all the zoo animals. So there's
Well,
that.
it could have also been a. Well, the thing is, they're in a completely different city. They're not in the zoo anymore.
Well, that's
they're-
true.
Yeah.
That could have been a wild horse because you got to remember they have a lot of open. Even with not the cities, there's a lot of open land. There's from what we're seeing, from the paths they've crossed so far.
This is true.
I was gonna say it's a lot easier for a horse to find grass to eat than in the middle of nowhere than it is a lot of the other animals find things.
Run, Mustang, run, be free.
So they find this elementary school. They're wandering through, making sure everything's clear, and comes to look at it. Cuddy's never been to school.
She
I
was
didn't.
so adorable. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Karina.
I didn't realize
Karina.
how.
Well,
Yeah, Karina. Karina, I knew she was slightly younger. I didn't realize how much younger she was than the other ones. So the other ones all look about the age. From what I can gather, they're somewhere between 5 to about 7, maybe even a slightly older than that when everything happened. She has obviously had to be under the age of 5 or 4. So
she probably
was
either
a-
wasn't born or
a
just.
she
Yeah.
was either not born or she was a toddler. So she's been raised in this. This is the only life she knows. And it explains a few things about her. I think I liked her better after this episode, which
I still don't like her.
I liked her better after this episode. After I realized, okay, she's very young. And that explains a lot about her. But it's one of those things, and she was really cute. It was very cute, and it was very sweet.
Okay,
How-
yeah, she did have a cute moment when they were doing the roll call in the classroom, but
The roll call was cute. Everybody has to admit the roll
That
call
entire
was
classroom
adorable.
scene was cute. That
Anju
entire
is my
classroom scene.
favorite mom ever. Like, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
we
I love-
already knew she was the mom of the group.
Well, I already called it a long time. I'm the mom usually of any group, so like mom sees mom. We know each other. I'm gonna be devastated. I'm just gonna be devastated when she dies. At this point, it's not if, it's when.
It's when.
I mean,
it's
it's so bad.
So they start making a fire outside after breaking down a number of stools and everything. And then Raiden's like, how do we light it? And Shin, with this straight look on his face, sets a box down, opens a book, and balls it up. Like, this is how we're going to start it. Laughing Fox tends to pull out one that has cherry blossoms on it. And this kind of leads that there was probably something between them, maybe? Or they were fairly close.
Between Theo and Kirschblut.
Yeah. Because he's the only one that really reacted. Because it was there in
Yeah.
front of everybody.
I already knew that. Like, I already knew. Yeah, I already knew that ahead of time. Like, it was very obvious after he died. I don't know.
So after this whole downtime they've had for once where they're not stressing out or worrying about they're worrying about legions, but just taking a breather. After that night, they're up. The sun's back up. You see Shin in the unit. Raiden brings up, it's like, we don't even have enough fuel for the whole day. They're like, And then it's like, we're leaving. So they start going. And as they're going, they reach this cliff. Then Shin stops them. And he gives the excuse, I'm bored. So to take over.
Yeah,
For
because it was
Anju.
on Anju.
And it's like, and he brings up, it's like that. It's like whoever's driving at the time is the one that fights.
Yeah, this is after he does this leap and severs the tether cables.
Yeah, he severs the cables. They notice immediately the cables have been cut,
Oh, yeah.
and then he proceeds to use his grapple to pull down half of the mountain in front of them to
Mhm.
throw a bunch of rocks so they can't get through.
And Raiden's pissed.
Yeah, yeah, and
Wouldn't you
he
be,
tells them,
though?
he said the
Yeah.
one that's in it fights, and they were because at first he just says I'm bored, and they were like, oh good, we were concerned, but he heard something.
Okay.
So yeah, Raiden's angry. They're all upset.
Oh,
Anju's devastated. They're just
a lot of the
so
expressions they give Anju, it's like not Anju, but Raiden in this moment.
he's mad.
It was like the others have expressions on him, but out of all of them, he has the most expressive look on him.
yeah.
His bromance just decided he was gonna go into battle without him. He is very mad.
The bromance, but the bond, but also this throughout all this, they've been through a lot, and it's like pretty much if you're going down, we're both going down.
They're ride or die.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really is.
he broke the ride or die moment.
He
Yeah,
broke the ride or die, and now he's.
because they did, if I do recall correctly, I think they
Yeah.
did make the promise they would die together. If I
Yeah.
remember it correctly, that was a big thing.
Yeah, Raiden flat out told him several episodes back that, where you go, I go, you fight, I fight, you die, I die.
Because he's won his, in other terms, is what we've said, his brother, his closest friend, one that's has understanded him through all of this. Like the others have probably talked with him and had sessions with him, but he's probably had the closest moments of Shin actually opening up with him more than the others.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get into this giant fight. Shin is just ripping through enough that they end up backing up for a moment. But we noticed why they're backing up. The long range cannon are also that we know is coming from a shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
The others are walking up. It's like Raiden's talking to them. It's like, are y'all okay with this? They just nod and they start just going right. He just gives that slight smile. And they go in.
They're not letting him go down like that. They're gonna go with him.
Mm-hmm.
There's the loyalty is very strong with these guys. It's almost sad to like it's very touching and like it oh, it's sad.
It is. But also, when we start hearing the voice of the shepherd, I have a feeling this shepherd is one of the original shepherds.
Yeah, this one's been there a extremely long time because it's talking about the queen.
The princess.
And killing, the princess is talking about killing everybody. It's like it doesn't matter who it kills.
As long as she's safe.
Yeah, so it's obviously like a loyalist that's been there for a long time.
One of the ones that were probably the beginning of the shepherds. That was part of the empire itself before it became what it is now.
I can see that.
Shin loses one of his legs. He's gotten hit not terribly hard from that shot, but he's enough that he's bleeding from his mouth, as we see. And he's like,
Did
they're
anybody
after
else
my
pick
head.
up? Yeah, when he lost the leg, does anybody remember the old mechanic and how many times he was like, "You're gonna lose leg"? I was like, all I could think of was the old guy yelling at him, and I was just like, oh my god, why is the old guy right now? At this particular moment, the old dude has to be right.
If somebody makes it a bridge series of 86, I have a feeling that's one of his lines is going to be exactly in that moment.
You're gonna lose leg. Like,
Now I'm requesting this for anybody out there listening. Please do this.
Make it a bridge with
It's
the old
Chekhov-
guy just bitching at him the whole time.
It's Chekhov's bitch fest. You can't have Shin get cussed out by the mechanic earlier in the series without actually having that specific thing happen to him in a critical moment later in the series.
Oh no, poor
Mhm.
shit. No, the mechanic's not allowed to talk anymore.
No, the mechanic broke my heart, but we're getting to it.
We're gonna get to
Oh,
that
yeah,
moment too.
you're gonna
Oh
get
my
to
god,
it.
this whole
Yes,
episode. The whole episode.
And this is the point where it really gets rough because Shin's pretty bad shape now. Raiden's up there firing. You see the just despair's rage look across his face as he's firing at the shepherd. He says, "Don't get up. Don't surrender. Shin, answer me." It's like, "You're all," and then Shin makes a comment, "You're all fools. You can't beat a legion with those weapons."
Hey, was his pararade still cut, or did he turn it back on when?
No,
they
it was
showed up?
still cut.
It was still cut, but he was
could hear them outside. He could hear them screaming from outside.
Mhm.
Because he had cut the pararade when he left them.
Mhm.
For reasons.
And what really really gets me right now is this: when that legion is opening Shin's cockpit, you see all the suicides start charging at Raiden, Theo, Anju,
Karina.
and then you see Theo's the first one to go out because he runs out of ammo, and one of the ones that got shot but was able to still make it over to him.
Yeah, apparently it missed the critical function feature
Yeah,
inside the head unit, and it leaps up, and as it collapses, it just right next to Theo, and we see Theo go unconscious, and we see his pararade dim out.
and normally that's an indication of not a good sign.
Yeah, they're
okay, so-
usually it means they're unconscious.
Yeah,
Every now and then it does mean they're dead.
Austin and I discussed this off air, but we've seen several times when somebody just gets knocked cold, like Shin
Mhm.
during the fight with his brother's shepherd unit. He gets knocked cold. the system goes offline. You know, they obviously have to be conscious and alert for the system to work. So could they be dead? Could they just be knocked out? It's a 50-50 at this point.
Yeah. Then we have the moment where it actually starts transitioning through everybody and they're all on the ground. Then it changes back over to the shepherd. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but under one of the pedals, one of the I think is it his brothers? No, but it's one of the little metal when he carves off of people's units when they have died.
I did not notice.
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
I didn't either. I didn't see that either. That was a good catch.
because when it pops out, it's like whose name? Because when Shin's having that conversation to himself of whose name will I call out,
Yeah. Oh, that was rough too.
and then it goes, "Here we go," title card.
Oh no.
And before
So
we
much
get
pain.
into the next scenes, I'm like, this was very, very brutal and wrenching, and like they're not gonna. I was like, I already know they're not gonna survive this. There's no way.
I'm not gonna say they're not. I don't think all of them are gonna make it though. I'm not gonna say that all of them are gonna die for sure, but I don't think all of them are gonna make it. And yeah, it was.
And they're some of my favorites.
Like,
I-
they are.
They're the ones that have been here the longest. I'm not saying the guy who wrote the manga knew what he was doing. He knew what he
Well,
was doing.
Theo, I'm okay with.
You kill the people that everybody likes. It's been happening since like Shakespeare wrote Mercutio. He killed them because everybody liked him more than the lead characters. He's taken out the people we like. He knows this. The writer was not stupid.
That's why I haven't claimed a favorite character on this anime, because I know that if I pick a favorite, they're gonna die. So I'm just keeping my mouth shut.
So, does anyone else have anything before we step into the next section?
Anxiety?
Not wrong.
Stress, sadness.
Pain, sadness,
Pain.
anxiety, depression, tears.
So, what we walk into next is a plane, and Lena walks out of it. And we are at the base of Undertaker and the gang, or also known as Spearhead.
Yeah, so we're
Spearhead.
at Spearhead's actual deployment zone, and as Lena's getting out, we see, the new shipment of 86s have come in for their final tour.
Mm-hmm.
The new robots and the new juggernauts we see once again.
Mm-hmm.
And as she walks into the warehouse, and the mechanic is standing right there,
Oh God.
and it's like, Fido isn't here.
And that's when she's like, I guess he wasn't a dog then.
Yeah. Just the realization coming back to the camp of everything being gone and new and set up for this new squad and everything. After seeing what happened on the battlefield a minute ago, it's just like, holy crap, are we literally going to just watch this new squad go through the whole thing?
And the old guy, the old guy's ready too. He has.
Yeah.
He's watched it. He said he has been there
For many times.
watching them send children die. It was so sad. His whole story's sad.
Yeah.
You can tell he actually did care about them, and maybe this group even more than particularly.
Well, he makes the massive comment. I've been watching the kids go off on their last march for a long time. And then he goes into his backstory of that he was married to an 86.
Yep, because he's an Alba.
And this is the reason why he's always whenever you see him, he's always wearing sunglasses, because he's actually a pure Alba because of his hair is actually dyed.
Yeah, he does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you see his eyelashes when he pulls off the glasses, his eye color, they are the color of an Alba. And one comment before we step further, I looked back when the title screen, or not the title screen, but after the title card, right when we get to the plane, the date it gives us. October 13th. The situation that happens with Shin and them is October 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So something's leading.
So it's been
27 days? No, not.
No, that'd be the third.
15, honey.
Yeah, 15. My brain
Math.
math doesn't
is
want to work.
Math is hard.
It's like I've seen them both die on the battlefield. This is when he's talked about his wife and his child.
Yeah, because they came for her because she was an 86.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they were going to take his daughter and his wife, and so he dyes hair to go with them. He didn't want to. And I think God, there's a moment where he's talking about it too at the end, and he tells them,
Well, like on their last mission.
Well, he always tells them, "I'm an Alba." He is like, he lets them know, and he was like, "If you can hate me, if you want to, you can kill me." And he keeps waiting. He said they still haven't done it, and because there's a part of him that just doesn't want to. He has that guilt. He is carrying a huge amount of survivor's guilt, the fact that he's lived and they're dead.
And what makes it sad, he also asks Shin when he finds out of his ability that he has. It's like, is there anyone out there that wants to kill me?
Or calling my name.
Yeah, call him a shithead or who couldn't protect his wife and daughter. And what would he have done if there were? Go out there and let them kill me? But he said there weren't.
Honest.
Yeah. And he was happy for that. And who knows? Shin might have been lying to him.
I know, that's what I kept thinking. I was like, oh, please don't let that be true and not something Shin told him to make him feel better. I will be so even more sad than I already am.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards the way that he lied. That's where I'm leaning.
Because we know Shin will lie. Little white lies to protect people. Like, you've seen it. We know it happens. So it wouldn't be out of character for him to tell a little white lie to make somebody feel better if he knows it brings some peace.
Yeah.
It's just like, but I'm just like hoping that he didn't lie, because if we run into, like, if at some point we run into his wife or his kid and it's gonna be it's gonna be awful.
Who knows? During the whole time when we first meet the black sheep, any of those voices could have been it. Gotta think about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
If he was lying. So he's like, once I'm out there, I'll see them on the other side. I was like, yeah, and to bring it up, he says, I always tell them I'm an Alba before they go on their special recon mission. So when he waved them over 2 episodes back before they were about to leave.
That's what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you're free to hate us. They can even kill me if it'll make them feel better. But nobody ever does. And not this time either. And so I'm still here. So pretty much until one pulls the trigger or something happens, he's always going to be at that spearhead base.
I feel like he feels like it's his responsibility. This is his purgatory. So this is where he's going to stay and be until something happens and he's not there anymore.
It's like, with how many units that have gone through here, as I've said before, is like, even though, as you said, it's his purgatory, to be able to see younger and younger people go off and be killed to go on these missions, but even their last recon mission, no matter how gut strong or headstrong you are, to get through that.
I mean, I think this series does an excellent job of showing it's the horror of war. It really is. It's the horror that is, having to fight something like this, a battle like this. And it just shows how these are not easy decisions, easy things that these people have to do.
No.
This is a tough thing, and it's very sad. Like it's extremely sad, but he stays. I don't know, like you said, I don't know how. I feel like when he does die, hopefully it's going to be something that's rewarding. Like there's going to be a moment of bravery that he does something. I could see it. He seems like that type of person.
I'm hoping when that day comes for him that he goes out with a smile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that, if anyone's read the manga, I'm sure it goes deeper, but I know that, I know a lot of people die in the manga. A lot of people die.
And this is where Lena also shows him respect by removing her cap and bowing to him. It says, thank you. She puts her cap back on and then walks into the housing before the new units get it, or the new recruits start walking through. And one of the things is, when she goes in, also where those little puppets or those ghosts,
the little dolls,
they were on the ground when she got to that room. That's some foreshadowing, if I didn't say so myself.
Amen to that. But now we get this really, really, really sweet moment when she's looking at the pile of dolls and she finds the cat.
Yep. Or the cat finds her.
Yeah. And
it is a cat. It probably did find her, if you want to be honest.
I love this cat. I love this cat.
The cat's adorable.
And
because she's actually in Shin's room when the cat pops up. because she's
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
taking her finger against his desk where pretty much a knife has been stabbed into. Then she starts going through the memories of what they said about the cat. Then you're going across when she's walking and passes against the wall, pretty much where her portrait was at.
All the portraits were, all the handlers.
So, and then she looks over and sees the cat scratching at the desk. And this is, from what we all know, is where Shin placed the book.
Mm-hmm.
And
It also has the toy in there, so he was like,
yeah.
which was a smart move by Shin, by the way. If you want a cat to get something for you or show somebody something,
Yeah.
put a treat or a toy there. They'll.
And then she looks in the drawer.
He's a piggy head. If
Mhm.
anyone
It's a
knows,
piggy.
which I think's funny.
She sees the book that's in the drawer. She opens it, and there's a couple sheets of paper in there. At first, she's hesitant to grab it.
I mean, wouldn't you be too if you knew, based on the little pieces of information that she picked up in the conversations, like the conversation about what the cat's name was? You know, Shin named it after the author of the book he was reading, and that was the same book that he left in the drawer.
Yeah.
And they called it out. And so suddenly she puts two and two together, and she was like, oh shit, this is Shin's book. This is what he was always reading, you know, whether we were talking, not talking, whatever. This was something of his. It was the only personal effect that she found, and it was his.
Then it goes in, once she grabs the sheet and unfolds it, the first comment that she reads on the sheet is from Raiden.
And it
Oh,
goes right
Raiden.
back to the conversation when they were all talking and introducing themselves and everything to her.
If you actually went to the trouble of finding this, you're one crazy dumbass.
Oh, Raiden, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, as much as I love Shin in this show, I'm totally Team Raiden.
Agreed.
Right? He's fantastic.
And all the comments that come to buy. And then also one of them is like, I drew an image with everyone's position pretty much and their names.
I bet you're crying your eyes out right about now because you can't tell which of us is which.
And then you get the comment from Andrew about the cat.
Was it Andrew?
Well, actually, no. It was
It
Karina.
was Karina.
It
that
was
did the cat
Karina.
comment.
Karina said, if you're gonna try to be a saint, at least take care of the cat. It was Karina that actually said it.
Okay. Oh,
I recognize.
No. I'm looking at the sheet
I heard
now.
the voice. I heard her voice.
Yeah, take care of the cat. You might as well if you're going to insist on being
Being a saint.
Karina.
And then
Yeah.
if you still haven't decided on a name yet,
Yeah, that was Angie. Yeah, give it a cute name.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta think
And-
of their
Andrew-
personalities.
Andrew based her comment on what Karina left.
Yeah.
there was really nothing else for Andrew really to say at that point. And then when she moves the sheet away, the cat's there, and it just meow.
And I love this transition.
Yeah, the tears that come down Lena's face, the stunness, and then outside, the tears are taken by the wind, and she is standing on the railway. If one day you make it to our final destination, sun's not bright orange, and the stern, strong look in Lena's face.
Her facial expression is amazing. Oh my goodness.
It's almost to the point of, give me a juggernaut, we're gonna go rip some shepherds' asses. Or, time to go in the city and cause chaos.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Yeah, Shin's final words in this letter like brought chills to me. Because his exact words were, if you ever make it to our final our resting place, would you please leave flowers? Signed, Shinai Nozen. And this is when we see that transition look on Lena's face from crying her eyes out to dedicated
We gotta get
fury.
shit done.
More of, you gotta get shit done, time to go kill a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is resolve. This is
Yeah.
pure resolve in her face.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I looked at Asuna, I was just like, if she doesn't get into a bleeping juggernaut right now.
And learns and becomes a badass like Shin. But when she passes by the little mannequin without a head and has peace, and the color choice for that was interesting. Because from the series, from what we've gotten so far, red and blue. Red, his brother, blue, Shin.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of stuck with that kind of thought process for a little bit, even with this, because even though it's been a couple episodes, but time frame wise, for time where Lena is here at this time, it hasn't been long. It's been like a day or two since the whole situation with Shin's brother for the dated time frame here. But
Yeah.
then when you get the final title card, it's very faded, but you can tell it's a couple juggernauts and the cargo. at for the very last title screen. It's I don't know. It's probably the gang more than likely, just their final show off. But with only 4 there, could that be some type of meaning or whatnot? But all I gotta say is we can wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Any last words?
Are we going to talk about this?
The
This
after
this visual.
the pain
The
visual.
after credit.
Oh,
After
that
credit
visual.
yeah.
So the very, very last visual we get before screens go complete black is Shin without a head.
Yeah, we see this shot of Shin's face, and it immediately takes me back to his brother being in the Legion programming,
Yep.
just without the the matrixing and the distortions.
Well, it's also the little conversation they have there too with his brother.
Right. But I'm saying just the facial shot. But then it transitions to Shin being a little boy. He's there with his brother, and this looks like it's right after the scene where what would have been when his brother choked him to death.
Yeah.
And his brother apologizes to him for calling his name for so long and dragging him out to the middle of nowhere for this. And he lifts the Headless Knight book over his head, drops it, and we see little Shin's face just light up and glow. And his brother standing there in a red cape, he flips it back and it's a suit of armor. He is the knight.
Special edition, the poppies bloom red on the battlefield. And that's all.
Oh. See, we don't even know what to say. We're just all at a loss of words. We're just
Yeah,
like, I don't even
It
know
really
what to
is
say
because-
to this.
And the thing is,
It was a lot.
for the final episode and what we got, the last 2 episodes, yes, it was a lot. Definitely
there
last
any-
week's episode.
Mhm.
Is there any word of when it's coming back?
No
is my
words.
question. No
No
word.
word.
Okay.
So we don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's no second season's been announced. So this could be the only season, and we really don't know what
Well,
they're planning
they
on
said-
doing.
They said if it does well enough, I think that's what I think there was an
Their
article. Or
plan is.
somebody, one of us found something. I don't remember who, that there will be a second season, but there's been no announcement on it.
Yeah, so what it was myanimelist.net. When you look up information on 86, shows that if you look up the actual anime, it shows that a second core has been posted on here, but there's no details, no data, no release date, no nothing.
No when.
Okay.
Maybe.
I would like to bring up one thing before we go any further. We should have done this at the beginning, but that was a slip on my end. Thank you from the Naked Apron for making this comment, for us to fill us in a little bit. Episode 10 is based on chapter 2 of volume 2 from the light novel.
Yeah, and I was really happy to see somebody was able to find that for us because, like I said, I started going through trying to search for when that took place, and I only got into volume 2, chapter 1. I had a little bit more time and gone a little bit further. I think I could have found it, but yeah. But thank you again so much for helping us with that.
Thank you.
So, any last words from this episode? No.
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 I think it was it. The episode had the last word. Is what happened. So.
Yeah.
Thoughts for post show?
oh.
Okay, sounds like a
Yeah,
list.
Yeah.
Laundry list
got
of
it.
post-show thingamajiggies to complain about, scream about, cry about.
I know Lyria is reading the light novels. I'm going to be doing a heck of a lot more digging and catching up on the light novel myself through the source I have for it. I'm really, really wanting to do a comparative during the post show.
Yes.
I agree. I'm fine, perfectly fine with that. If you have to take over, you'll take over for that episode.
You can take it easy, Rain.
And I'll
Wolf.
just
You can take it
make my
easy.
comments here. The thing is that may have
Give
to
'em
go
work.
the way post show
Work 'em
goes,
hard.
but
Yeah.
It's the Kirito Lyria hour.
Yeah.
Woo, woo.
I was really good because I am bad for like watching because I did it with The Way of the House Husband. I watched the anime and then I proceeded to read every manga they had. I do that.
He did.
I did like which that anime is odd, but it's a very good manga if you ever read it. Very funny. But I do that kind of stuff. I'll start watching something. I was like, I'm gonna see what the manga says. But I did really well on this one because that was supposed to be Lyria's job. Kirito did not do so well with following instructions.
He helped. He was actually it
He
was,
was
a-
helping.
It was a help because
Uh,
he would help me figure out where stuff was. So I did.
Lyria-
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I delved more into the wikis and some online research
Lyria's
as opposed to
just she's got your back. Just so she's keeping you out of hot water is all it is.
Yep. Keep him safe. So, with that all said and done, next week we will not have. Well, obviously, with 86 over, we will be doing our post show. Hopefully, we can do it live. We'll see how that goes and everything else in the functions. As again, I am Rainwolf,
this is Kirito Silverheart.
This is Asuna Silverheart.
And this is Lyria.
and until next time.
Bye.
Bye.